Okay, the town clerk of the town of Morristown do hereby state that it is 7:30 PM on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and that this regular meeting is being held in council chambers, 200 South Street, Morristown, New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the town of Morristown. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board at Town Hall and on the town website and filed with the office of the town clerk of the town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. I will take a roll call. Councilwoman Foster is excused this evening. Councilman Iannacone.
Here.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
Councilman Umbriak.
Here.
Councilman Russo.
Here.
And Council President Polipchuk is excused this evening. Council Vice President Russo will be presiding over the meeting this evening.
I'd like to start by asking all of us to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. If we could remain standing for a moment of silence as well.
Trying to keep Mike Myers in our thoughts and prayers. Passing a longtime Morristown resident, Councilman Iannacone was good friends with him, his family, and we all know the family, Chris and Tom Ferrer. So our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, before we get started, just a quick announcement. The renewal of PG Beverages ABC license was added to resolution number R-119-2026 that is on the agenda for consideration tonight. There are 3 items on the agenda. I will separate number one out. That would be the approval of minutes for the June 9th, 2026 Town Council regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2026 Town Council regular meeting.
Second.
On that motion, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Abstain.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Would any member of council like to pull out numbers 2 or 3? With that, I would ask for a motion to adopt consent agenda items 2 and 3.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
On the adoption of consent agenda items 2 and 3, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, now we're going to start the public, actually, I'd like to make a motion to move the mayor's proclamations and presentations up before the public hearing.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will now move on to mayor's proclamations.
Come on, team.
The football team can come up. Fresh from practice, right? Oh, a game. How did it go? You won. Of course you won. Of course you won. All you do is win. Yeah.
I'm not going to answer any more names. But it's kind of cool. Never played flag football. Played regular football, but not flag football. It's pretty cool. What was your record? Oh, undefeated. Champion.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you'll read it.
All right. Wow. Stats. All right, so it's going to be a proclamation. We're going to read it to the record. And we're going to pause midway, and the council president is going to read off your names. And as you read off your names, I will hand you your own private proclamation that you can frame whenever you'd like. And always remember this day in Morristown when you got a proclamation for being great athletes. Congratulations. Okay, whereas the town of Morristown proudly recognizes and celebrates the accomplishments of the L14U girls flag football team for completing a historic and undefeated championship season. Whereas in their inaugural season, these young athletes demonstrated determination, resilience, teamwork, and understanding athletic achievement, finishing with a perfect 9-0 record and capturing the championship victory over Bloomfield and throughout the season. The team established itself as a dominant force, achieving an incredible 200 margin of victory, winning every game by more than one possession, and setting a standard of excellence from the opening game through the championship. Whereas these young women proudly represented the town of Morristown and served as role models for future generations in demonstrating what can be achieved through dedication, confidence, and collective effort. Whereas the town is honored in recognizing these outstanding players who made this unforgettable season possible. Now, Council President, you will do that, and I will handle the thing.
And I apologize if I mispronounce that name, please correct me if I do. All right, Chloe Smith, number 11, come on up.
Here you go, congratulations.
Congratulations, Chloe. Isabella Sulo. Not here. Number 4.
That goes to coach.
Coach will take on her behalf. Number 10, Kylie Hotra. Number 1, Sophia Zervone. Lucky number 13, Angie Mendez Perez.
All right.
Number 6, Eliza Paulson. Number 0, Italia Williams. All right. Number 5, Nora Sismansky. All right, Nora. Number 8, Stella Davis. Number 2, Genesis Houghton. Number 20, Anaya Hills. Number 12, Kayla Joseph. Number 14, that was my number, Shelia Popo Jimenez. Number 7, Taylor Jones. And last but not least, number 3, Victoria Avaro.
All right.
And that's everybody, that's everybody. Okay, so here we go. Whereas, special recognition is extended to the coaches Bill Mullen and Tom Quinn for their leadership, dedication, mentorship, and commitment throughout this unforgettable championship season. And whereas, the town further recognizes Sophia Zervone and Chloe Smith for accomplishing an extraordinary feat by capturing their second championship of the year, having also been members of the undefeated 10-0 championship tackle football team this past fall, an achievement that reflects their dedication, versatility, and commitment to excellence while serving as outstanding ambassadors for the football program. And I, on behalf of Mayor Chris Russo, on behalf of our great Mayor Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, on behalf of the town council and the residents of Morristown, do hereby proclaim June 23rd today, 2026, as 14 and under Girls Flag Football Team Day in the town of Morristown, and recognize and congratulate the team for their undefeated championship season, and commend the players, coaches, families for this historic accomplishment. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give them a round of
Coaches. Just so you girls understand, I gave them the rest of it to read because I don't have my cheater glasses. It's hard. When you get older, it gets harder to read the small print. Just so you know, congratulations to the coaches, congratulations to you girls, congratulations to your family. This is not just a certificate of achievement or accomplishment. This is actually a proclamation where you actually have a day in the town of Morristown name. This is going to be in the history books. So 100 years from now, if people want to see what the 14 and under girls flag did that day, that championship year, it is going to be in the history books of Morristown for everybody forever to see. This proclamation is in the record. So congratulations on behalf of the town, and the town council, and all the citizens of the town of Morristown. Job well done. Thank you.
Yeah, if the parents want to come up as well, you can come up and take pictures. Yep, get up in front.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, congratulations. Look at you up there reading proclamations. You're an MC. Good stuff, good stuff.
Okay, at this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on the Special Improvement District 2026 budget only. When called upon, please approach the microphone, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order.
Mr. Byrne, come on up.
Hello, my name is Bill Byrne. I live at 100 Franklin Street, Morristown. And I'd like to thank the DOT of State of New Jersey, and also Morris County, and also transportation. And
Mr. Byrne, this is this is a public hearing for the Special Improvement District budget.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, but don't go far.
Okay. You want me to just sit down?
Yeah.
Just-
Okay.
To the next
Oh,
round.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
We'll get you back up soon.
Okay. Is there anybody who would like to address council on the SID 2026 budget? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Now, Mr. Byrne, at this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on any matter.
Okay. Oh, that was a rehearsal. My name is Bill Byrne. I live at 100 Franklin Street, Morristown, New Jersey. And I would like to thank the DOT of Morris County, the DOT of the state of New Jersey, make sure I cover everybody, and the DOT of, I said the state of New Jersey, Morris, and also Morris County. All the people that were involved in putting this traffic light up. And I also like to thank our mayor and all the town council people, and especially my buddy Bob, who I brought this matter up to. It wasn't just me. There was people in the community that also did this. It wasn't just me alone. It was a team effort. So I just like to thank the town council and our mayor, and everybody can't leave Tim out. And so just like to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Byrne.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Feldman, 19 Olmsted Road in Morristown. Have not been in this room in several years. Feels pretty weird. But I'm happy to follow Mr. Burns, who's been such a long-time advocate for pedestrian safety in Morristown, because we have an opportunity to protect a lot of people and slow travel speed on Morris Avenue, thanks to Morris County's kind of surprise repaving and repair of what used to be a 3-lane roadway, which for about 20 years has been 2 lanes headed the same direction, toward Florham Park. But what neighbors have found is while we have, in the 20 years since it went from 3 lanes to 2, we have fewer incidences of people driving the wrong way, thank God. Driver speed is still definitely too high, and there's a sense that it's a highway because when the road was narrowed, it was done entirely with white and yellow paint, and the shoulders are filled. I just brought printouts. Tony Catano said, always bring something to wave around, but this is actually useful. There are Google Maps photos of what the road looks like when the striping's not all ripped up, and it looks like a freeway. As a result, drivers are traveling too fast, and people have real difficulty crossing the street. I know on Mills Street, McCullough Ave, Washington Ave, we've built curb extensions. It's something the county always said the town could do at its discretion, but it's a stormwater problem, it's a plowing problem, it's a real problem if anybody's on a bicycle or running, because it forces them in front of cars. Luckily, there's relatively new techniques like Manhattan is using all over the place. It's just epoxy paint with gravel mixed in. And at the town's discretion and in cooperation with the county, the request is for the town to consider taking the sections of the shoulder that are immediately in advance of crosswalks and visually creating a curb extension so that people can still run along the curb, but drivers will be realizing it's not a travel lane. Because occasionally a driver will pass on the right, on the shoulder, when there's a person there. And that's obviously incredibly dangerous. So for relatively low cost, I'm hoping in the striping budget, there might be an opportunity to try a different technique than we've used on other roads, simply because this road has so much higher volume than any other corridor that we have, that you have the control over. So that's really why I'm here tonight. And that's it. And I'll leave these.
If you,
Thank you, Ms. Feldman.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Howdy. Ryan Gorman, 26 Normandy Heights, actually in Morristown, or township, I guess, sorry. I spend a lot of my time in the town, though, biking and walking, and Rebecca made me aware of this opportunity, so I wanted to voice my support as well. I'm not a tax-paying resident of the town, but I think I buy enough drinks in town to qualify potentially as contributing to the budget. I'll just emphasize, I think this group probably knows, but some of the public may not. When you create visual safety in a roadway, speeds increase. So if you have 2 lanes that go in the same direction as the lanes that are going in opposite directions, speeds increase naturally. You can't do anything about it. I could test every single one of you driving, you'd all do the exact same thing, can't do anything about it. When you remove debris from the side of the road, park cars, trees, you increase the sense of safety, you go faster, always. The only way to counter that is either by changing the infrastructure or changing the visual cues. What Rebecca mentioned is there's a really cheap and easy way to change some of the visual cues that could decrease the speed. Works every time, it's only a few miles, but that can actually be the difference between life and death for a pedestrian, and unfortunately in that corridor we have lost lives and certainly people have been injured in that area. So it's a good idea, I think, to contemplate doing something really cheap, and it might be a way to just test the concept, right? So do a little bit of study right before the paving, a little bit of study after the paving, see if it makes a difference and see if it's a really budget efficient way to perhaps decrease injuries and maybe make drivers a little bit more aware of the speeds they're traveling. So that's my thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larry Cohn. I'm 51 Georgian Road. Rebecca also convinced me to come here tonight. I brought my helmet because I biked here. There was no place for me to park my bike, so it's attached to a pole outside. But I also agree with this plan for the road. The visual cue side, I think, would massively improve the the biking experience. I'm someone who actually commutes from Washington's headquarters to downtown Morristown almost every day. I bike over the 287 highway. When you go over that highway, everyone wants to make that right turn so badly that they almost hit me every time. And so everyone just has 287 fever on Morris Ave. And I think in this one stretch, if we could slow it down and remind people that it's residential and that we want people to use alternative forms of transportation to get into town, that would be great for everyone. So that's the message for tonight, and thank you guys for taking this seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm a little bit of a cripple here, but I'm here. I know many of you. I was on the township committee for 17 years, excuse me. But I've lived in the area and
Your
years.
name, ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathleen Highland,
Can you spell your last name?
Hyland.
Thank you.
We all know.
I'm sorry, I don't.
That's funny because I know so many of you for 100 years, all my life. But I came here to give you a little presentation on what we call Positive Pathway. Used to be called Team Pride, but we've changed it, where the school districts get together and we have a great relationship with them in the town and the township. And we provide counseling service for students who need them really on a 24-hour basis. We have counseling in the school, after the school, and needless to say, it's become a real strong issue. And I've seen a difference, and I had 9 of my grandchildren go to Morristown High. So, I mean, I've seen several changes to the positive, but I think we had a lot to do with that, along with the council and Morris Township Committee and so on and so forth. But we're here to give you a presentation on, I'm going to have our expert who does it as a job and as a full-time job, basically, and then some, to give you a little update on where we are with it and what we really need. Of course, it's funding, because we go outside the school district. We go to homes on occasion. We have meetings in different areas so that the students won't feel, like looked on upon that it's, oh, they're going to positive pathway or whatever. So, but I'm going to let them explain it to you. But I thank the town council. I know the mayor. I've known him forever. I feel like I know many of you for a long time. But I would appreciate anything you could do, like funding-wise, because we're really running into, we have so many more students that need our help. And most of it's after school or in different locations. So I hope you can consider it and give us some funding. So we need it desperately, really, to keep the programs going. And we get money from the outside, too, but we plan on the town, the township, and Morris Plains on occasion. But thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marlene Scrivo, and I just want to say Kathleen has been one of our original founders and has been with the program forever and ever, so we are extremely grateful to her. My name is Marlene Scrivo, and I'm one of the directors for Positive Pathways Counseling, which was called Teen Pride for many, many years, so that might be a little more familiar to you. I've been so fortunate to spend my entire career with this grassroots nonprofit organization. In the past, we used to present in front of this committee every year. We have not done so in a while, and we thought that it was important to reintroduce ourselves and our program and to thank all of you for your ongoing support and partnership. Your partnership has helped us support thousands of Morristown youth and their families over the past 30-plus years. So we've been around for a really long time. For those of you who may not know who we are a free, community-based counseling program with office space in both Morristown High School and Frelinghuysen Middle School. Having our office space in the schools allows us to meet each student where they're at, literally, during the school day. This allows us to eliminate obstacles such as transportation and financial barriers to counseling while providing a free service to the teens and the families we work with. We don't only stay within the schools. As Kathleen said, we will go outside of the schools. We'll meet at a mutually agreed upon location. We'll go into the homes. We'll really go wherever we're needed. But being within the schools allows us to work closely with teachers, guidance counselors, and administrators to best meet the needs of our clients. Seeing them in their environment really tells so much of their story. We get to see who they're sitting with in lunch, who they're not sitting with. We get to help them when they need to work something out with a teacher or when they get into some trouble and we get called down to the principal's office with them. So being in their environment just gives us such a full picture and enables us to really help meet their needs. Over the last 4 months alone, our team of counselors conducted over 1,440 free counseling sessions, and we had more than 840 collaborative contacts with parents, outside mental health professionals, and school district staff on behalf of our clients. We've been able to provide this service for so many years because of your ongoing support. We submit statistics and data to the town yearly, but we felt it was important to come tonight to share with you in person the impact your support has had on the teens we serve, their families, and the Morristown community as a whole. Helping one individual, in turn, helps the entire class, the school, and the community. I've made copies of our end-of-the-year statistics, our charts, and our evaluations from the students to share with you. We always submit these things, but I don't know who sees them and if you ever get them into your hands, so I wanted to bring them tonight. I know a lot of, maybe I think the town too goes on like a fiscal year, January to December. We kind of follow the school calendar year, so our final data is all here, and I'd like to share it with you.
If you would give it to me, I absolutely will make sure.
I'm not sure I have enough
Yeah, we can make copies. She can make copies.
No worries. Look through it. I forgot to attach my business card there, so if you had any questions with my email, but I'm happy to leave that with someone.
I'll find
also.
you.
Okay.
I'll find you.
Great.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michelle Monge. I'm at 31 Wood Road in Morristown, and I am a member of the board of Positive Pathways. I'm a very proud member. I just joined them 4 years ago. But the work that Marlene and Jeff both do with their team of counselors is incredible. And as many of you know, when one student is happy and well-adjusted and their mental health is addressed, it has a huge impact on the whole community at large. So we know that if a student is dysregulated or struggling, it can disrupt a classroom, it can make it difficult for other students to learn, and it makes it difficult to manage a complete school. So we know that the work that Positive Pathways does has an impact on the whole community at large. This originally started 35 plus years ago with Kathleen Highland and her team, and we originally got our recommendations from the police department, and that's how we started working with students. It no longer works that way. We work with students that become through the system from the guidance. And we know that those connections that those students have with their counselors makes a difference, and we would love to continue our work and even reach more students. In the information that you've received from Marlene, you'll see the students we work with. It breaks down what town they're from, what their ethnic background is, what type of issues we work with, and you can see the great work that they do. And we really want to thank you for what you have done to support Positive Pathways, which was formerly Team Pride. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Any more comments from the public? Come on up.
Well, you already know who I am, but for those at home who doesn't, my name is David Richard Cook from 37 Speedwell Place in Morristown, New Jersey. Now, for the past 6 years, I've been dealing with a problem on my own that I had to handle, and not really of the best effectiveness to handle it the way I wanted through a pandemic and whatever have you, and I've been asked by a multitude of people, why? Why do I do this? This is why. This is me back in junior year, back in high school, a part of a radio station known as WJSB in Morristown. Since I graduated, I spent about 6 years doing what a lot of people told me to do, which, you know, the usual, get a job, get a life, try to do something with yourself, make yourself better. I know a couple of you probably heard it 1,000 times over from your parents and your parents' parents. When I went that pathway, I learned that maybe sometimes I should try to chase my dreams, and decided back in 2014 to really try to chase my dream to become a radio DJ once again. Now, how does this all wrap up with what's been going on for the past 6 years? Well, it wraps up because the people I had to deal with, the situations that I had to deal with, which was not limited to not only drunk drivers running into my home, in my car, people robbing my house, and what have you, but through it all, this was one thing that kept me going. I told the mayor on the Cinco de Mayo post-session of the council meeting when I came up to him, I told him I'm done trying to extinguish my nightmares and starting to chase my dreams. So thanks to him, the guy back there who I do believe, I know a couple of you think he looks like a car dealership owner, doesn't he? Yeah, I know. And that guy right there who was there at the last town meeting, looking good as always, and our lovely mayor who was able to help out and take time out of his busy schedule to, answer a couple of the pleas that we had, and I thank you for that, and thank him for that too, and, Lincoln Navigator is what I want in the near future. But besides all that, here to say that despite all of that, to quote Macho Man Randy Savage, I'm going nowhere because this ain't over. We still got this to chase. And there's a little event in the fall coming called the Fall Festival in the Green, and I think the mayor knows where I'm going with this one, don't you? You do? Good. So until next time, whether it be by July or whatever it may be, by whatever vacation you guys try to get by trying to get a skin complexion like mine's, my name is David Richard Cook, and I approve this message.
Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the members of the public? Okay, no more comments. We're going to close this up. Thank you. Moving on to council response to the public comments.
Let's start with Morris Avenue. First off, I think Rebecca downplayed her involvement because quite frankly, the reason why the striping is in place now today on Morris Avenue, a lot has to do with Rebecca with her prior term here as a council member. Really did a lot, taking that from 3 lanes down to 2. Just a little more history about this. We do have a neighborhood association that's very, very active with Morris Township with reference to what we call the safety, and we'll call that safety from approximately the train station through Normandy Parkway, actually now starting to extend down to Park Avenue. That whole area has gone with the development along along Columbia Turnpike, and in our town has become very, very congested. A lot of speeding, a lot of the other traffic accidents. In fact, probably the worst intersection in this area is Normandy Parkway and Columbia Turnpike, where there's at least 1 accident a week. It's actually for a lot of reasons. We have met with the county, and I'm going to put it out there. The county has really done little, if anything, in response to our concerns. Good meetings, they meet with us, they're nice to us, no action, no action. I think what Rebecca is suggesting tonight is actually a modest change, and it's actually how do you kind of accentuate the narrowing of the road. I'll point out that I think the town's done a lot for Morris Avenue. I mean, there's not a single time that I don't call and mention speeding that they don't have a police officer out there, okay, reminding people that you can. All we have to do is ask, and the town's been always very responsive and always has had a cop out there. The town was very supportive, for example, on Washington Avenue. When they did do the bump outs, the real change was people started parking on the street again, and it was the parking combined with the bump outs that actually slowed down Washington Avenue tremendously. And again, a lot of credit to Rebecca and other people in our neighborhood. That all being said, I think that, I think we should consider what do we do to accentuate the narrowing of that road even further, similar to what might be effectuated if we did do bump outs. So I appreciate Rebecca coming out tonight and others coming out tonight, and and I'm sure the mayor's going to say we'll follow up on what might be a new opportunity. Other issues, because Larry mentioned it too, and I think one of the other aspects that we hear about Morris Avenue is the right turn on red. Because when you have one-way streets, people don't look both ways when they're pulling out from the road. And Ford Road, and particularly I think what you're referring to is the entrance onto 287 are very dangerous. And I think putting some signage there, maybe taking away right turn on red, looking at those other opportunities could make actually the pedestrian walkway safer on that street, which has gotten more and more congested over the years. And it is speedy, because quite frankly, when people, the minute they get out of town, they see that roadway, they can't help but just to step on the pedal and go. But again, thank you for coming out, and I think we heard you tonight, and I think you heard your response to that. Reference to positive pathways, Kathleen Highland, who's been involved with so many organizations in the county, not just the work she does here, but the work she does with ARC. She's one of the gems of the county, not just our region, but one of the gems of the county. That being said, I think this town should be very proud, because we have consistently supported the organization. And I know the mayor's going to comment on it, but it's an organization that deserves our continued support. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Iacone. Any other responses to the public?
No, I'll just say, echo what Bob said in terms of pedestrian safety. Obviously, Morris Avenue, Morris Street is changing tremendously with, Sanofi and Deloitte, the train station. So there is an opportunity to look at what else we can do to increase pedestrian safety, bicycling safety. I know, Rebecca, you're very vocal about bicycling safety and staying 4 feet from the bicyclists. And I see Ryan almost every day, either walking or sometimes he's on the bike, sometimes he's walking, but I see him all over the town, so we hear you. I do want to take a moment in terms of positive pathway. So this is something that is rather new to me, but I do have 4 children in the district. I have one in the high school, one in Frelinghuysen, one at Woodland, and one at TJ. So we're all over the place, 4 kids in 4 different schools this past year. But I appreciate this. I think, having the opportunity for children to have counseling right there, right at the schools, is necessary. I think there's a lot of kids that don't have this opportunity, aren't granted this opportunity, and for you to present that to them free of charge, I think is great. I think children nowadays, I see it in my children, deal with so many other things that I didn't have to deal with when I was a kid in terms of social media and bullying and things of that nature. So I think what you're doing is great. And if there's anything that we can do, obviously I know Michelle, if there's anything we can do as a council or individually, if you have fundraisers, let us know. I think we're happy to support all the great work that you do. So thank you for being here and sharing all of the great things that you're doing.
I'll third that also. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for coming out in the public comments. Anyone else?
I just don't want to be redundant, and I agree with my colleagues here. Thank you, Rebecca, for bringing that up. Very important. And also, I am very interested in knowing more about positive pathways, okay? Since I'm also in the business of counseling people as a pastor. And one of the greatest work that we can do is with youth. Thank you.
All right, with that, we'll move on to reports of the mayor and the town officials.
Okay. I'll just comment quickly on the county road. Not a surprise that they're paving. We're trying to get them to also do other work on their county roads that they're, under state law, they're not required to do. However, I did find out, and they received a letter from me last week, that they did certain work in Madison, but they don't do the work here. So I'm very curious why they're not treating us the same way they treat other communities. So I'm waiting on a response from the director of the commissioners and Dina. So I'm sure they're not going to be happy with me with the letter they got. But, I said this last meeting, Billy, on the, one is, I'm glad that they're going to do the traffic beacon, the safety beacon on the crosswalk on Morris. It's needed. We've been hawking it for a while now. The state, I can tell you for the record, we started that process 8 years ago for that traffic on the safety crosswalk on the state road on 24. 8 years under Murphy, we did not get that installed. Suddenly, new governor, interesting enough, and I don't think I'm not taking any credit for it, but when she did swear me in November, I did tell her, oh, maybe we can get some DOT stuff. And I've looked around and I've seen DOT working on the green. I've seen DOT on our state roads in Morristown. I did get some not so good news on the traffic signaling. There really isn't much more they can do to improve our timing on the traffic signaling. So my comment to them was, I think it's time that New Jersey needs to start really looking at new technology when it comes to light sequencing and traffic movement. I've offered to be a test case. I'd love to see NJIT or one of the technical universities come up and say, hey, we want to try some stuff in your town. We're very open to it because I can call 100 times to the DOT and they come up and they stand there and they do the timing and they see what happens, but they don't come at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't come at 6 o'clock at night when the major traffic movement from everywhere in the state comes through here to get to the western part of the county. And yeah, we have some traffic in Morristown. But the traffic that we're seeing in the morning and at night are not Morristown's traffic. These are traffics from the western part of the county. I can tell you right now, people from Parsippany are now finding the route to come down through Morristown to get onto the 24. All you have to do is go on 287 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is bumper to bumper at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, I came down Route 10 yesterday at 5:30. I could not believe the traffic going west on Route 10. So the arteries are all clogged. And that goes to Councilman Iannacone's question. We have talked about this, you talked about this 10 years ago, that the county does not do long-term planning on their roadways, and they have not. And, we pay taxes to the county, all of us that are in this room, from Morris Township, from Morristown, from all the other municipalities that are in this county pay taxes. And we pay a lot of taxes to the county. Morristown's worth is a lot more than it was 15 years ago, and we're paying a lot more to the county in taxes because of it. So, they should at least take care of the roads that go through our town. And even things like what you're bringing up with road dieting, this is not complicated rocket science inventions to make roads better. And the county should be open arms about doing this stuff and fund it because we pay them money. So first step is to go to the county and say, this is what we want, and see where we go, and start from there. Because budgetary is tough. Our budgets are tight. Everybody's budgets in the state of New Jersey are tight. You saw what's going on in Jersey City. They're looking at a 20% tax increase. That's reality. Other towns are having 12, 13%, larger, 17%. 8%, 9%, we're at 5.9, 5.5. And that's all combined. That's school, that's county, and town. So we're holding our own, but we're also, like I said, and I'm not going to use this as a soapbox to pound that we're at a structural imbalance with nonprofits, because we are. We're losing $9 million a year in taxes to nonprofits, and we're at that point where we have to start figuring that out. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to try to figure that out. Because it's not just me. When I'm gone, it's the next mayor, and the mayor after that. The nonprofits are here, and it's great. We love the nonprofits. Sanofi, one of the crucial things, I think, in their whole thinking about where they're going to move was the fact that we're a nonprofit town. But there comes to a point where you can't tax people out of their homes. In other communities, there's a lot of that going on. And I watched a very long cast today on Jersey City by the Assemblywoman breaking it down, and they've got real problems in that big city. And, they're asking the state for $150 million to bail them out. Well, you know what? How about giving us $20 million to bail us out? Every town could use money. So it's not doom and gloom. We're doing great. We really are. We're really doing great. We got really good stuff coming, and it's very positive. So it just, when I hear things like something simple as what Rebecca brought up, with a not that costly of a fix, or at least try for a fix, compared to to re-engineer the road. Or the lights, it's a no-brainer. So we'll work on it. That's it for that. And thank you again to Governor Mikey Sherrill, and for the DOT for the rapid response since her inauguration, and getting that safety installed on Hamilton and State Road. Because I tell you, I see it going off all the time. You could see it when you're halfway down South Street going east. You see this flashing from far distance. I actually asked the public safety director to send somebody out to make sure that thing wasn't stuck, because I saw it going off so much as I was driving down South Street that I thought maybe it was stuck, but that's so many people cross there. And a lot of them are elderly. Those are seniors who live in Blair and Hamilton. So thank you to the state of New Jersey and for Governor Mikey Sherrill, and for the DOT. They did a great job.
And the next one's Morrison King.
Next one is Morrison King. So we're getting there. It just takes time, 8 years. And it's not like we didn't call every month. We called every month, and we were actually told 6 months ago that it was 60 months out. 60 months out, right before her election. And next thing you know, boom, there it is. Isn't that amazing? Amazing stuff. All right. I know David's on a time frame. I can't talk too much. Oh, talk as long as you want. You want to what is it?
Galapagos Island.
Yeah, Galapagos. Yeah, it's nice. Very nice. Okay. Wednesday, June 10th, we had our senior summer kickoff party in the senior center. It was a blast. I think we had a couple hundred seniors show up. Kathy did a great job. Volunteers did a great job. The seniors just absolutely love it. And you all know, Tina, how our seniors are. They're just amazing. We have amazing seniors in our community. On Saturday, we also had Central Taqueria. I want to also give them a shout out. 61 South Street, they were recognized by the Mexican consulate. I was there for the most original tasting for as far as their food. So as it was explained to me, if you're in Mexico, you see these small carts on the streets, on the road, and that's basically what the flavor and the kind of food you're getting there. It's very authentic. So I do patron that place. My wife and I both love the tacos there. They have ribeye tacos that are excellent, but they were recognized by the Mexican consulate in a statewide look at different restaurants and taco places. And Central Taqueria, 61 South Street, probably did a great job. So congratulations to Central Taqueria. On the 13th, Saturday, Our Youth, Their Future. Toshiba's not here. Had their rally. She does that year after year after year after year. They're committed. Those women are committed to helping kids, which is great. And our hats off to her. And on behalf of Nathan, Pastor Silva, and Toshiba, you guys are responsible for the bouncy house. So I'm sure she would have thanked you if she was here, but she's out on business. Wednesday the 17th, grand opening of Point 5 Jersey at 48 Washington Street. Now, this is New Jersey's first standalone non-alcoholic bottle shop and testing room. Now, acting council president was there, Chris Russo. Now, I don't drink alcohol, but I'm going to let you just give them a quick experience of what you thought was the experience.
Well, look, I still think I had a buzz after taking a sip of that champagne, so I don't know. But no, it's actually very good. It tasted, you wouldn't know the difference. The champagne I had, you could have told me it was the real thing, and I wouldn't have known the difference. And I'm not even a big drinker myself, but they had plenty of options, whether you're a tequila drinker or anything else, that were the same thing without the alcohol. So definitely a welcoming addition to the community for those who want to enjoy the taste of alcohol without getting it. So,
yeah. And interesting thing is, I was like really just kind of thinking about it as a business. Is there a market? Where's the market for this? There's a market for it. They have a store up in Chester. There's a definite market. Our youth are drinking less than, we'll say we did when we were young, but they are. And statistics will prove that out throughout the state if you look at liquor sales. And they are. They're drinking less. Now, I don't know if that means they're smoking more marijuana, but I'm just saying that seems to be the take. And this was a very interesting store. They had every beer you could think of. They had every liquor you could think of. They had botanicals, which they mix that I tasted that were fantastic, like an after-dinner drink. It was just amazing, this concept. So we really wish them good luck, and I just think they're going to do really well. It blows my mind how we're all changing, evolving into these things. Now it's non-alcoholic liquor stores. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, I think it is. Thursday, I want to thank the council president. He's not here. He sat in for me for the Morristown High School graduation, which is always it's the first one I missed. but I was away, so thank you to the council president who's not here, and to all the graduates from Morristown High School on their graduation on the 18th. The 19th, municipal offices were closed, obviously, in celebration of Juneteenth, and the Morristown Partnership Community Watch Party for FIFA World Cup was at Pioneers Plaza, and the feedback I'm getting that it was outstanding, that it was a total success. So congratulations to Jen. Where's Jen? Is she here?
She's in the back.
Jen, congratulations. I heard I heard nothing but good things. Did you go? Yeah, it was good. Okay. 12 hours. So that's a lot of fun watching the World Cup. Okay. Saturday, June 20th, was our rabies vaccination clinic, which is always jammed up with people with their pets. That's a great free event for our residents and for other non-residents that come to Morristown for a free rabies vaccination. A lot of them. I think they hear about it all the way out in Pennsylvania. And they do. They come from everywhere. They do. They really do. Welcome back our distinguished business administrator, Jillian Barrett, who just flew in late last night and made it to the meeting today, so we're thankful she's here. Wednesday, the 24th, 5 to 7, Cops and Rodders on the Green. Friday, July 3rd, municipal offices are closed in observance of Independence Day. Now, there's a lot of different little stuff going on the 4th, but there is one really key thing that if you want to take your kids to, or you want to go to yourself, is at 12 o'clock at Washington's headquarters, historic Washington headquarters. It's going to be the reading of the Declaration of Independence, but it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of people dressed in costume. There's going to be a lot of storytelling. There's going to be a very dramatic public reading of the Declaration of Independence. And the fact that it's on such an historic ground, that it might be something that if you have never experienced it, we're Washington State. So it's very, very historic. So for them to dramatically read the Declaration of Independence, I think is going to be something that you want to go to. And it's free. And it's at 12 o'clock on the 4th. So it's on the website, so check our town website. Now, here's something that's people call me on all the time on. July 5th, 9 to 2, mobile DMV unit will be at Town Hall parking lot. Registration is required for the Real ID, registration renewal, initial permit, non-driving ID, duplicate replacement, limited walk-up availability. It's a limited walk-up availability for license plate returns and handicap place cards. To register, visit townofmorristown.org/calendar. townofmorristown.org/calendar, or scan QR code on any of the flyers posted throughout Town Hall. It makes it very convenient for you to get your Real ID when the mobile unit comes here. This is like the 3rd or 4th time they've been here. So they're really showing us some love by bringing that unit here. I got my Real ID here along with, I don't know, 100 people that day. I signed up for it, got on the list like everybody else, and got my Real ID. And everybody's required to eventually get it. So if there's openings, take advantage of it. They'll be back again. That mobile unit is constantly coming and going. So I want to thank the state of New Jersey again for bringing that to the town of Morristown, because it is something that our residents really appreciate. Monday, the 13th, there's a ribbon cutting ceremony at Victor Woodhall Park on Ford Avenue. It's kind of a neighborhood niche in a way, but anybody in the public is welcome because it's a public park. But it's a new playground that was sparked by residents, and we were able to pull that together and get the new playground put in. And they're excited, and we're excited, and we're going to have a ribbon cutting there on the 13th. And you're all invited, but I know the people in the neighborhood really pushed for this, and we made it happen. So I think that's all I have, Council President. That's a mouthful, and I appreciate your patience and time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Moving on to the council liaison reports. Councilwoman Lindsay, I'll start with you if you have anything.
Yes, I do. The management of OAS Management and Morristown Housing working diligently to bring the application on both the senior and the Manhattan Village vacancy apartment at the suit. Morristown Housing manages the waiting list for all suits. It's like 10, they have 10 open between the senior building and Manhattan Village. And 4th of July is coming up, and they are working with the police department for Manhattan Village for 0 talents or fireworks. That's it.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Umbrack, you have anything?
Sure, I have a report for the partnership. The partnership met on Wednesday, June 10th. Our very own Kristen Ace from the Shade Tree Commission shared the current tree inventory in town, recent plantings at the schools throughout the district, and future plans for planting. I also wanted to share on her behalf, I had inquired a few weeks ago when we learned of the passing of John Landau, if there was going to be something that we could do in terms of a memorial for him. So there will be a memorial service for John. As you know, John and Susan were instrumental with Friends of Foots Pond Wood under the umbrella of the Shade Tree Commission and under Kristen's leadership. People can make a donation if they want to contribute. They can make it to Foots Pond Wood or to Feeding America in John's name. Again, there will be some type of memorial service, and once we have that information, we'll make sure that we share it with the public. Back to the partnership report. I heard nothing but good things as well about the watch party on Saturday. I think that's, certainly something that could be a spark for future events, and it was well attended, and I didn't hear any issues in terms of safety. I did want to highlight as well, not only was that on Saturday, but on Sunday was the kickoff of the farmers market. So that kicked off on Sunday, June 21st, and it goes through November. That's in Lot 10. Over 35 vendors, which is, I think, the biggest in the history of the farmers market. So if you haven't been, make sure you go and check it out. Sponsors include BASF, Sanofi, and SJP Properties. And our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 8th.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Councilman Silva, do you have anything?
Yes, Morris Parking Authority met on June 10th for the monthly meeting. They keep announcing the commissioner vacant seat. This has been since the beginning of the year, so if you know anyone who wants to serve in any capacity in the town, serving at the Parking Authority is one of the best. Safety Incentive Award from NJIIF, which is Intergovernmental Insurance Fund. On January 10, 26, the MPA's public meeting, Barlas, Director of Marketing for the New Jersey, presented a Safety Incentive Award to the MPA. And you can clap for that. This award recognizes the MPA's ongoing commitment to fostering safe and healthy environment, also for its employees, residents, visitors, and everybody that they serve. The authority has received this award many times during the past decade. Ant Bank Restoration Project, and perhaps this is the most important announcement because there were some issues. Phase 2 of the Ant Bank Garage Repair and Preventive Maintenance Project is currently underway. The project has generated concern from businesses located in Skylar Place due to its impact on parking availability. These concerns have been heightened by the county courthouse project, which has also reduced parking capacity in the area of the town, in that area of the town. The Ant Bank Garage Repair and Preventive Maintenance Project was scheduled before MPA became aware of the county courthouse project's impact regarding on-street parking. The preventive maintenance work is essential to maintain safe and reliable operations and cannot be postponed. Because the Ant Garage is jointly owned by the MPA and the county, the project could not proceed until the county's portion of the project was funded in the capital budget. The MPA strategically scheduled certain work to be performed in the short-term space to be accomplished over the 4th of July weekend as to complete the work when parking demand is historical low. The contractor has been made aware of the situation, so MPA trusts that the work required in the short-term spaces will be conducted during the time frame. I'm going to say something that is perhaps not related with this in some sense, but as I was hearing about how the county doesn't help us, I think that residents from our town should go to the commissioner meetings, and we should make teams of people go on pounding on things that affect our living here in Morristown.
There's one tomorrow. There's one
Yes.
tomorrow.
The Hart Restoration Project, the repair and preventive maintenance of the Hart parking garage is slated to begin the end of June, early July. The solar project has been completed, and the remaining punch list items are currently being addressed. The Hart and Dalton have returned to their full parking capacity. For the Lot 10 project, they are still waiting for the engineers to design concepts. That's all.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, my report's going to be quick for the planning board. The meeting scheduled for this Thursday has been canceled. Next meeting will be scheduled for Thursday, July 23rd. That's it for the council liaison reports, and moving on to regular business.
Okay, we have 4 ordinances for introduction this evening. First is ordinance O-18-2026, ordinance of the town of Morristown amending and supplementing chapter 30, land development ordinance by permitting and regulating instructional kitchens for cooking classes.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 0-18-2026.
Second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-18-2026, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
And Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-18-2026 has been introduced properly by title. It will go before the planning board for a consistency review on July 23rd, and then come back to the council on August 18th for a public hearing and possible adoption. Ordinance number O-19-2026, ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey for compensation for elected mayor, town council members, and council president in the town of Morristown, New Jersey, and amending all ordinances concerning such compensation heretofore adopted.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 0-19-2026.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions from council? On the introduction of ordinance O-19-2026, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
And Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-19 has been properly introduced by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on July 14th. Ordinance number O-20-2026, ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey for compensation for management/non-union positions in the town of Morristown, New Jersey, and amending all ordinances concerning such compensation heretofore adopted.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance O-20-2026.
Second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-20, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
And Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Ordinance O-20-2026 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on July 14th. Ordinance number O-21-2026, ordinance of the town of Morristown, county of Morris, state of New Jersey, amending section 7-16, parking of certain trucks, vehicles, and trailers prohibited, and section 30-215.2, exceptions and conditions of prohibited uses of the code of the town of Morristown, to clarify that certain vehicle weight limitations shall be based on gross vehicle weight rating.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-21-2026.
Second.
Any comments or questions from council? On the introduction of ordinance O-21, Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Ordinance O-21-2026 has been introduced appropriately by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on July 14th. We have 2 ordinances for adoption. The first is ordinance O-16-2026, ordinance appropriating $565,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various improvements to the wastewater treatment facility and conveyance system in and by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-16-2026.
Second.
At this this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-16 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-16-2026, Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
And Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-16 is adopted. Ordinance O-17-2026, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $2,967,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,817,000 in bonds or notes of the town to finance part of the cost thereof.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-17-2026.
Second.
I'll now open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-17 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-17-2026, Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
And Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-17 is adopted. There are 4 resolutions for consideration this evening. Would any member of council like to pull any for separate consideration? With that, I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-118 through R-121-2026.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number R-118-2026 through resolution number R-121-2026.
Second.
On the adoption of those resolutions, Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolutions are adopted.
All right, we don't have any unfinished old business, no new business, so I'll make a motion. Mayor?
Kathleen, you might want to get everybody together and schedule an appointment to talk to our business administrator budget-wise, because our budget was adopted. So to give you a better understanding of where we are with our finances if you're looking for funding. That's what I would do.
We're always in the budget, so I'm assuming we're still in.
I don't remember seeing it. Not in the last few years, I don't think you've been in. Have you been? Yeah. I don't remember seeing it. So I would set up a meeting. I would call Kristen tomorrow. Yeah, I would call Kristen tomorrow and set up a meeting, go see Jillian.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.